Cam Jansen. The Tennis Trophy Mystery. David A. Adler. Illustrated by Susanna Natty. Chapter 1.
"Something smells really bad,"
Cam Jansen whispered.
"We're in gym,"
Cam's friend Eric Shelton told her.
"It always smells bad here." "It's not a gym smell,"
Cam said.
"It's worse."
Cam and Eric were standing on their spots. Mr. Day, their gym teacher, was checking attendance.
"I saw Danny get off the bus this morning,"
Mr. Day said.
"I wonder why he didn't come to gym. Here I am. Danny is not on his spot,"
Mr. Day said quietly and made a mark in his book.
"And if he's not on his spot, he's absent." "I am on my spot,"
Danny said and quickly moved.
"Oh, there you are,"
Mr. Day said. Mr. Day closed his marking book. He unlocked his office door and put the book away. Then he came out with his hands over his head.
"Hands up,"
he called out.
"Reach for the sky."
Everyone in the class reached up and stretched.
"Hands together, feet apart."
The children put their hands together and moved their feet apart.
"Now,"
Mr. Day told the class,
"do jumping jacks."
Cam and her classmates jumped again and again. They jumped first with their feet apart and their hands together above their heads. Then they jumped and moved their feet together and their hands to their sides. Most of the children jumped on their spots. Danny didn't. Each time he jumped, he bumped into someone else.
"Hey, watch out,"
Eric said.
"Ow,"
Cam told Danny.
"You landed on my foot." "Jump quietly," Mr. Day called out.
Cam and Eric tried to be quiet, but Danny kept bumping into them.
"Ow, again,"
Cam said, and fell to the floor.
"That's the second time you landed on my foot."
Eric and Danny stopped jumping.
"Are you okay?"
they asked Cam.
"Why are you talking? Why aren't you jumping? Don't you know the rules in this gym?"
Mr. Day asked the three children.
"I do. I do. I do,"
Cam, Eric, and Danny said.
"Danny, read Rule 7 aloud."
Both boys turned to face the large sign on the wall of the gym. Cam didn't turn to face the sign.
"When you enter this room,"
Danny read from the sign,
"go directly to your assigned spot. Remain there for attendance and exercises." "Eric, read Rule 11 aloud." "Exercise time is not playtime." "Turn around,"
Mr. Day told Cam.
"Face the sign and read Rule 14 aloud." "I don't need to see the sign,"
Cam said.
"I can read it from the picture of the sign I have in my head."
People say Cam has a photographic memory. They mean Cam's mind takes pictures of whatever she sees. Whenever she wants to remember something, she just looks at the picture stored in her head. Cam closed her eyes and said, "Click." Whenever Cam wants to remember something, she says, "Click."
"My mind is like a camera,"
Cam says,
"and cameras go click." "Rule 14,
Cam said with her eyes still closed.
"This gym is a place for quiet exercise and play. A quiet gym is a safe gym."
Cam's real name is Jennifer Jansen, but when people found out about her amazing memory, they called her the Camera. Soon the Camera was shortened to Cam.
"While the class plays volleyball,"
Mr. Day told Cam, Eric, and Danny,
"you will stand against the wall in the corner opposite the sign. You will study the sign. Maybe then you'll remember the rules." "Cam remembers the rules,"
Eric whispered as they walked slowly to the side of the gym.
She remembers everything.
What's that?
Mr. Day asked.
What did you say?
Nothing,
Eric answered. Mr. Day divided the class into 2 teams. He set 1 team on each side of the net. He stood on the side of the court.
It's worse here,
Cam whispered.
What is?
Eric and Danny asked.
The smell,
Cam answered.
It's worse here. I think it's coming from Mr. Day's office.
Chapter 2.
Pass the ball forward,
Mr. Day told children in the back row.
Play as a team.
I think it's coming from Mr. Day's office,
Cam whispered to Eric. Shh, Eric said.
Don't talk. We're in enough trouble.
A boy in the back row hit the ball straight up. Everyone watched the ball go up. It almost touched the ceiling. Then they all watched the ball come down. No one tried to hit it.
Don't just watch,
Mr. Day shouted to the children.
This isn't a television show. This is a game.
Cam quietly stepped closer to Mr. Day's office. It was Janet Teller's turn to serve. She held the volleyball in her left hand. She made a fist with her right hand and hit the ball. It flew to the side, right at Mr. Day.
Oh, no!
Janet screamed. Mr. Day put his hands in front of his face and caught the ball. Cam stepped even closer to the office. Eric took a step too. Then he whispered to Cam.
What are you doing?
Mr. Day stood next to Janet.
Hey,
Danny called to Cam and Eric.
Where are you going?
Whisper,
Eric told Danny. Danny moved next to Eric and whispered.
Where are you going? Cam wants to know why there's a strange smell coming from Mr. Day's office.
Maybe he's cooking garlic,
Danny said.
Or maybe he's burning old sneakers. That would really stink.
Mr. Day held the ball in his left hand.
When you serve, hit the ball like this,
Mr. Day told Janet. Then he took an even swing and hit it high over the net. Cam took one more step and was by the office. She turned and looked through the small window in the door. It was a small office. When Cam looked through the window, all she could see was Mr. Day's desk and the old cabinet behind the desk. The desk was piled high with papers. The cabinet was against the back wall of the office. The cabinet had 2 locked glass doors. Cam looked through the glass doors to the back wall. It was painted yellow.
That's it,
Cam said.
That's the smell. The office was just painted. It was blue before, and now it's yellow.
Yellow,
Danny said. Eric and Danny looked through the window.
It's a big square banana. That's what it is,
Danny said.
Mr. Day's office is a big square yellow banana.
The cabinet looks a little empty,
Cam said, and looked through the window again.
I think something is missing.
Cam closed her eyes and said, click.
That's it,
Cam said with her eyes still closed.
That's what's missing.
Cam opened her eyes and looked at the top shelf of the cabinet. On the shelf were 2 silver trophies.
He had 3 trophies on the top shelf,
Cam said.
Now he just has 2. His tennis trophy is missing.
Chapter 3.
That's the trophy he won at last year's teacher's tournament,
Eric said.
He's so proud of that one. Bam! Whoosh!
Danny said and pretended to be swinging a tennis racket.
He beat Miss Green.
Maybe the trophy is in his desk,
Eric said.
Maybe he took it home.
Mr. Day turned. He saw Cam, Eric, and Danny standing by the door to his office.
"I told you to study the rules," he said. "You can't see the sign from there."
How did that happen?
Danny asked as he looked to his right and looked to his left.
How did we get here?
Cam, Eric, and Danny went back to the corner. They looked straight ahead at the sign.
"I've got to get in there,"
Cam whispered.
"I've got to get in that office and look for that trophy."
"It's time to stop playing. Line up, please,"
Mr. Day told the class. He stepped forward and caught the volleyball.
"You two,"
he called to Cam, Eric, and Danny. The children hurried to the entrance to the gym. They got in line and waited for their teacher, Miss Benson.
"What happened to your tennis trophy?"
Cam asked as she walked past Mr. Day.
I won that last year,
Mr. Day said. He was very proud of that trophy.
I won it in the teacher's tournament. The last match was real close. It was between me and Miss Green.
Mr. Day smiled.
She just couldn't hit my serve. Yes, she could,
Danny said.
She thought the serve was out.
Mr. Day turned. He glared at Danny.
Dr. Prell was the umpire, and she said it was good.
After the tournament,
Janet said,
that's all Miss Green talked about, that the ball was out.
Now Mr. Day glared at Janet. Miss Benson walked into the gym. She spoke to Mr. Day for a moment. Then she led the children back to their classroom. Cam didn't follow Miss Benson.
I know how you won the trophy,
Cam told Mr. Day.
I want to know where it is. Did you put it on your desk? Did you take it home?
No,
Mr. Day answered.
It's in my office, in the cabinet.
No, it's not.
Mr. Day walked to his office. Cam followed him. Mr. Day unlocked the door.
Oh my,
Mr. Day said.
It's gone!
There was a padlock on the glass doors to the cabinet. Mr. Day checked it. It was locked.
I keep the office door and the cabinet doors locked. How could anyone have taken it?
Mr. Day asked.
Maybe you took it home,
Cam said. Mr. Day pushed some papers aside and sat on the edge of his desk. He shook his head and said,
No.
Some papers on Mr. Day's desk fell to the floor. Cam put them back on his desk. Mr. Day sat quietly. Cam looked at the cabinet. Then she turned and looked at the office door.
Who else has the keys to your office?
Cam asked.
Dr. Prell and Jake.
Dr. Prell was the school principal. Jake was the custodian.
Do you ever leave the cabinet open?
No,
Mr. Day said and shook his head.
My trophies are valuable. They're real silver. That's why I keep the cabinet locked. And I keep tests and my marking book in there. I don't want someone to get them.
Cam looked at the cabinet. The two doors were closed. There was a padlock between the doors, and it was locked.
Someone broke into a locked cabinet,
Cam thought,
and stole a silver trophy. And whoever did it put the lock back on. Why would the thief put the lock back on?
Cam told Mr. Day.
I'm good at solving mysteries. Right now, I'm having trouble with this one, but don't worry, I'll solve it.
No, you won't,
Mr. Day told Cam.
You'll go back to class.
But what about your silver trophy?
Don't you worry,
Mr. Day said.
I'll find it.
No, you won't,
Cam thought as she walked to class.
I will.
Chapter 4.
Where have you been?
Miss Benson asked when Cam walked into class.
I was in gym,
Cam said.
I was talking with Mr. Day.
Miss Benson told Cam. We're learning about oceans. Then she asked, Janet, please tell Cam what we learned.
Almost 3/4 of the earth is covered with oceans.
Janet read from her notebook.
There are 5 oceans, the Atlantic, Pacific, Indian, Arctic, and Antarctic, and they're all connected.
Cam sat in her seat. She opened her notebook. Miss Benson asked, "What causes waves?"
Parents do, Danny called out. If your parents have wavy hair, so will you.
"Adam," Miss Benson said, "please tell Danny and Cam what causes waves."
It's the wind, Adam said, and the moon causes tides.
A folded piece of paper landed on Cam's open notebook.
It's from me,
Eric whispered. "Cam," Miss Benson asked, "do you know how the moon causes tides?"
Do I?
Cam wondered.
I think I do. I think I read about it last night.
Cam closed her eyes and said, "Click." She looked at the pictures she had in her head of the page she had read in her textbook on oceans and tides.
The moon's gravity pulls on the water,
Cam said.
As the earth turns, it pulls on water over different parts of the earth. That's why we have high tides and low tides.
"Thank you," Miss Benson said. "Now, please open your eyes and pay attention." Cam opened her eyes. She wanted to open Eric's note, too, but she waited. Miss Benson talked about currents. She also talked about plants and animals that live in the sea. Then she turned to write on the board. Cam opened Eric's note.
Did you find the trophy? No,
Cam whispered. Miss Benson wrote, "Benthos are plants and animals that live at the bottom of the ocean." While Cam copied that, another note landed on her notebook. Cam opened it.
Does Mr. Day know where it is? No,
Cam whispered. Plankton, Miss Benson wrote on the board, are plants and animals that float and drift in the ocean. Jellyfish are one kind of plankton. Eric was writing another note.
Stop writing notes,
Cam whispered. Eric said,
Then tell me what happened.
Cam nodded. She wrote a long note about the missing trophy and the locked cabinet.
I don't know how someone got into the cabinet,
she wrote at the end of the note.
And why whoever stole the trophy locked the cabinet again.
Miss Benson turned. Nekton, she wrote on the board, are animals that swim in the water. While Miss Benson wrote about Nekton, Cam folded her note and tossed it to Eric. "Please," Miss Benson said to the class, "copy what I have written on the board. Then we'll have silent reading." Cam and Eric copied Miss Benson's notes. Then they opened their books. Cam was reading a mystery. In the book she was reading, diamonds were stolen from a jewelry store. The store was in a busy shopping mall. It was the middle of the day, and still the thief got away. But Cam had trouble reading. She kept thinking about the missing trophy.
That's it,
Eric said.
I've solved the mystery.
Chapter 5. "Please read quietly," Miss Benson told him. She was reading too.
I'm sorry,
Eric said. He took out his notebook and wrote a note. He waited for Miss Benson to look in her book again. Then he tossed the note to Cam.
I solved the mystery,
was written on the outside of the note. Cam looked at Eric.
Did he read my book? How does he know who stole the diamonds?
Cam wondered.
How does he know how the thief got away in the busy shopping mall? Read my note,
Eric whispered. "Cam and Eric," Miss Benson called out. "Please come here." "What should you be doing now?" Miss Benson asked.
Reading,
Eric said. "But you've been writing and passing notes," Miss Benson said. "And not just one note. It started just as soon as Cam sat down."
You saw all that?
Cam asked. "Yes," Miss Benson said. "I saw all that. I know you remember everything. Well, in this class, I see everything. Now tell me, what's going on?" Cam told Miss Benson about the trophy. "That's terrible," Miss Benson said. "Mr. Day is very proud of his trophies."
"It's a double mystery," Eric said. "Who took the trophy, and after he took it, why did he lock the case?" "No," Cam said. "It's a triple mystery. If he doesn't have a key to the lock, how did he lock the case again?"
Miss Benson smiled. "Maybe I know why he locked the case again."
"You do?"
Cam and Eric both said. Miss Benson explained. "The thief could have simply broken the glass door and taken the trophy, but for some reason he didn't want anyone to notice there was a theft, at least not right away. Somehow he unlocked the case, and then, after he took the trophy, he locked it again."
"I know that," Eric said. "And I know how he did it."
Miss Benson added, "It's easy to break some locks, but it's impossible to use them again."
"I know that. I know that,"
Eric said. He told Cam to show Miss Benson the note.
"I solved that part of the mystery."
Cam gave the note to Miss Benson. "After the thief broke the lock," Miss Benson read from the note, "he took out the trophy and then put another lock on the cabinet."
"He couldn't put the same lock on," Eric explained, "because it was broken." "That makes sense," Cam said. "Mr. Day won't be able to open the cabinet," Eric said. "It's a different lock, so his key won't work." "Can we go to the gym to tell Mr. Day?" Eric asked.
"Yes, you may," Miss Benson said. When they were in the hall, Cam said to Eric,
"Even if you're right, we still don't know who stole the trophy." "But we know how he stole it, and that's a start," Eric said. "And I'm the one who got us started."